Welcome, all my Training Tuesday friends. It's great to have you with us, and we just want to thank you for stopping by and taking the time to come out and expand your knowledge.
It's getting bigger on our end, right? But yeah, you know. Yeah, so
and if you're not muted, please go ahead and do that real quick.
How you doing, Steve?
All right, so getting back to it, this is a wonderful introduction for infrastructure. We've done a couple of them in the past, and we're real excited to continue on with this. Today's this presentation is intended for training purposes only. So for anything technical, specifications, or the products that we mentioned, please refer to DaytonSuperior.com. You can find all of those out there as far as the products, technical data, and safety. So today, we're going to be talking, like I said, about bridge and roadway infrastructure. And we're going to start out our discussion and understanding all of what Dayton Superior has to offer, kind of like we usually do, but a little more in depth. And we're doing this for the infrastructure needs because it's a very holistic approach. And as you'll see, we're not just about forming systems or accessories or whatever you know from your experience with Dayton Superior, but we're about a lot of different things. Before we continue on, I do want to just add a couple items that, everyone's muted so that we can all listen in and hear things appropriately. I want you to think through this presentation. If you have any questions at the very end, we're going to do a little mini question and answer session through the chat functionality in Zoom. So start thinking about those if you have any. And we also record these every time, and they are posted on our YouTube channels for Dayton Superior, as well as our DaytonSuperior.com website. Just search on Training Tuesday and you can find that as well as the registration link and sign up for the next one. All right, so who is here to walk us through this topic? None other than, are you ready, drum roll? Chuck Hoke, our National Training Manager. So as you guys have probably already heard me say many times, Chuck has been in this construction industry for over 49 years. 20 of those years, he was a dealer for accessories and forming, as well as chemicals. 29 years ago, we came to Dayton Superior, where he has worked as a product manager, along with many other important positions that's way too long for me to list here. He has a business and civil engineering degree, and like I said, is our current national training manager that can assist with any of your many product and application topic needs. So have at it, Chuck.
Thank you, Heidi. So let's start out with a little bit of who is Dayton Superior. We are the leading provider in the construction industry, obviously offering solutions for all of our products, engineering with software, services including our customer and technical service and specifications, and resources that are currently available. We've got obviously training, which we are currently doing one right now. We have our trainingtuesday.com, and we also have our training sites on our website. You'll also see any of the experience that you're going to look at here. We have probably one of the most widest breadth of construction knowledge across the industry in this company, whether it be Simon's, chemical, etc. So with that, we'll look forward. So we're going to talk a little bit about solutions. Yeah, we've got accessories. We got bridge deck, rebar slicing, precast tilt up. Obviously, we've also got forming, adaptable, strong labor costs. If you have never heard of the name of Simon's Corporation, Simon's used to be, and it still is, one of the largest forming companies in the U.S. We also have a full chemical line for repair and restoration. Engineering, probably the largest and most experienced group within the industry. Our customer service, whether it be sales or tech services group, is one of the most well-versed parts of the industry for the people in the industry. And obviously training, we've got our Training Tuesdays that we work on every week, trying to put out something new for everybody, give everybody a little tidbit of a little bit of knowledge so that they can to see if something they want to get into. We have both on-site, virtual, and we can do all customized training too for you, whether it be forming or accessory.
Or chemicals.
Or chemicals. Solutions on bridge deck, obviously with engineering, obviously same thing with precast. Wall forming, bar supports, and also tilt up and splicing. All of these products here require one of these other groups to actually have a relationship with the manufacturing group that makes this product for us. And you'll see a lot of these products here some of them require a lot more engineering, like forming and splicing, and even the bridge deck. Some of the products here typically may not require a lot of engineering, but it does play a part in the capacities of this product. When we're talking chemicals, we have the most complete line of chemicals. I was one of the first chemical distributors back in 1975 for Dayton Superior. And to this day, some of the products that they have are still on the product line. And at that time, they had a great line. Some of the products that we have gotten so much better than what they had back in then. It just kind of blows your mind. But we've got a full line of curing, repair, coating, release materials, sealers, and also we're in the decorative end of the industry. So with engineered solutions, we are focused on delivering exceptional technical services and support. If you've been through our Simons group here, you will see that is a very technical group, and they do a great job of passing down information to the customer and designing solutions that are easy and cost-effective for the customer. They do a good job of getting the product out in a fast and timely fashion. And the planning process for the products here basically resulting in increased productivity, profitability from our customers. Whether it be tilt up, bridge deck, obviously, or any of the forming design. Those are consistent things that we try to do is surpass everybody else with in a timely fashion. Because obviously time is money in today's marketplace. So let's talk about bridge and roadway infrastructure. When we talk about bridge and roadway, we are looking at because of the big T package that has gone through the infrastructure bill of 2021, I believe it's classified as. But this is a chart we just got from ARTBA, who is actually one of the largest associations in the U.S. who keeps track of all the bids, the big lettings, the projects, etc. And as you can see, over the last couple of years, we've been pretty flat with construction until last year. Now we're starting to see a lot of the roadways projects coming out. And primarily, the reason being is with the infrastructure package, the states had to have projects ready to go. So obviously, the projects that were ready to go, they typically didn't have a whole lot of bridges because they weren't designed. So that's why you see that the bridge market is fairly flat this year. I would anticipate that next year and the year after, you're going to see that bridge market expand exponentially because projects are in the process of being designed, so they'll be let and the money will be spent. So as you can see where the bridge report is, why are we talking bridges and highways? Well, if you look at the purple states are actually the good states for the highway system. Roads and bridges are typically in the 0 to less than 5%. If you start talking the light blue and the darker blue obviously is where we're starting to look at a 9% number. We're still talking out of all of the structurally deficient bridges across the U.S., it still ranks as about 33%. So basically 1 out of every 3 bridges that you cross across the U.S. is structurally deficient. So, look, when we talked about it, the opening of this thing, 2 industry powerhouses. Simons, one of the best forming companies in the business, and Dayton Superior, the best manufacturer for concrete forming accessories, together under one roof. So we have one great, powerful solution for all these projects when you combine the two companies together. So why Simons? Experience, capabilities, product, knowledge. It runs from everything from custom formwork, self-standing forms, to design, lifting design, construction design, basically helping the customer facilitate how he's going to form and break down his form so that he can maximize his time and efforts. Forming and engineering, the engineering on it is second to none. You talk to we have more PEs on staff than any other company, construction company around. We are looking at for form designs and layouts, customized packages, whether it be commercial, wastewater treatment plants, et cetera, waters, dams, bridges, et cetera. We have one of the best engineering groups in the business. Forming and shoring details, our products are designed for ease and simplicity of use, and basically to maximize or optimize your time and efforts on the project. So with that, because of that's being one of our strengths in this industry, is that we look at optimizing work time with development that the project will get completed on time and at a cost-effective savings for you. Maxiform, one of the newest forming systems that we've engineered here. Very similar to our old Maxiform, but not. The system actually enables it because of the new design in the ribs to actually span farther than the old Maxiform used to without being supported. This enables you to actually have between standards, basically having a bigger distance across the roadway. So a lot of times you can span from a pier that's on the left side of the highway to the right side of the highway and have the single form running across the top of the highway so that you can pour your pier cap for a flyover. That is one of the biggest advantages that we have, and obviously, basically strength and reliability within this system. We have the capabilities for custom design, so we can incorporate standard panels with a customized panel so that the customer typically only has that expense of the customized panel that is really kind of, that's kind of the shocker in the price of the formwork. But usually what we can do is minimize that customized section and use a standardized panel going up to it, making everybody's project cost effective and coming in on a budget numbers. So let's talk, we also have with Simons, little known fact. Simons actually has a forming system for bridge deck. Typically, we've seen it used considerably, most of the time, down in Texas, in the south central part of the U.S. This form system is a gang form system, and it uses Maxiform as their panels for it, so that you are getting a bigger spacing of your bracket, and the brackets are designed to be a little bit stronger and heavier than the standard bridge bracket. You're typically going to use a through bolt connection into the flange of the beam. So basically what that means is you are going to pass the hanger system through the flange of the hanger, or through the flange of the bridge, and bolt it into the overhang bracket that will be supporting everything. Typically, you see these types of systems here because it is a gang form system. Usually, these are used on longer bridges. I've heard guys talk about bridges. The last one I saw was on about a 2,200, 2,300 foot long bridge. But typically, these bridges are typically in the longer stages over 1,500 square lineal feet, just primarily because of cost of getting product out there, and actually you got to have some accessibility too, because everything has to be handled by crane. Well, with that said, let's talk about bridge deck forming for the accessory side of the business, which is Dayton Superior, and our C49 overhang brackets. Online, we have our new bridge deck information sheet. This sheet is now available online on our website, DaytonSuperior.com, under Engineering Services. When you get to bridge deck, click on it, and you'll see a prompt to actually sign it. Then you click this in, you enter all of the data, pertinent data on here, and this is actually what starts the job file for your bridge job. So with that, we're going to talk a little bit about the products, the C49 overhang bracket and the C49D. The two brackets basically are identical except for the vertical legs. I should say the outside vertical leg and the outside diagonal leg. Those are the only two that are different in the C49D. Obviously, the C49 has a vertical adjustment from 30 to 50 inches, the D from 50 to 70 inches. So what we've done is just added a longer outside vertical leg, and with doing that, we had to extend the diagonal leg. The short bracket is a modified C49 bracket. You're basically taking the inner pipe on that vertical leg out. Just take the two bolts that hold it into place, slide that right out, drop the outside vertical pipe into the horizontal, the 54-inch leg, bolt it in place, and now you have that adjustability down to 14 inches. We modify, manufacture all of our own hangers. All of these hangers are custom built for every job that we go to, depending on contractor preference, strengths required, etc., and obviously field conditions, what's going to be used. As you can see, some of the different conditions here, we got precast hangers, we've got coil rod hangers, we've got weld-on hangers for jobs. We've also got coil rod hangers, C25s down on the bottom, and we've also got other weld-on hangers here and wraparound hangers. All of these bridge products are actually held in place with a 1/2 inch by 24 adjustable coil bolt. This is a standard piece of coil rod with a nut welded on the end and a running nut that's loose for adjustability. The reason I prefer the 1/2 by 24 is you can then turn around and loosen it up when you go to remove the overhang bracket by taking your wrench, put it on that welded nut at the end, break it loose, and then drop everything down to take your lumber and everything else out. By having that capability here, you can actually take this coil bolt and reuse it a couple more times, as long as it's not damaged. We also have available for our overhang brackets a C51 wall plate. You go down the road, you see a lot of guys use our overhang bracket as a scaffold bracket or as a walkway bracket, especially around columns when they do a lot of rehab with all our chemical products, etc. Typically, this overhang bracket gets put in place here. You either have a cast-in-place insert or you have to use a post-installed insert like the Bearcat bolt. Either way, it's a 3/4 inch bolt that gets accepted. If it is a post-installed anchor, you will need to check for tightness every day with the thing, because when you walk on these brackets, it becomes a vibratory load. Post-installed anchors are not good in vibratory load. We also have extenders and guardrail receptacles for the overhang bracket system. The guardrail receptacle will bolt into the end of the overhang bracket. There are 2 holes in the bracket to accept the bolts there. Or you can actually put the extender on, get yourself 20 inches more of walkway space, and attach your guardrail receptacle to the end of the extension. This enables you to actually have your upright post in 20 inches of extension, of extended walk area. And like I said, walk area, you're not allowed to load concrete on the extension. It's only designed for walkway. So slab bolster. Slab bolster is typically what we manufacture for supporting the rebar, positioning the rebar within the deck. There are a bunch of different sizes and types that we manufacture. Here you're seeing slab bolster, epoxy coated slab bolster, plastic tip, slab bolster, plain plastic tipped and dipped. Depending on your conditions within the bridge site and or type of rebar, you may want to use a galvanized bar, etc. Or there's even the all plastic material, which is basically effective in all conditions. And we also have our upper material, which actually allows you to span corrugations and obviously rebar across the deck, in the middle of the deck. They typically come in 5-foot lengths, and typically you get those in the same fashion. You get those galvanized plain, epoxy coated, etc. So there's a wide array, and we also have an all plastic version. Reason being is because the finishing machine that we're having to carry that rides and smooths out the concrete. The biggest problem we have with overhang brackets and supports today is the fact that the finishing machines have gotten so much larger, primarily because the roadways have gotten so much wider. So the finishing machines had to become bigger because to span that distance across the bridge. And what's happened is the bridge finishing machine has typically almost doubled in overall weight that's actually put on the overhang bracket. So with that being said, we recommend that getting the information from the contractor, because he's the only one typically that can give us that information, because a finishing machine now is a lot like buying a new car. You walk into a dealer, you can say, do I want the stripped down version, which is going to be the basic way, or do I want the one with power steering, power seats, power windows, etc.?
And cherry red, yeah.
And cherry red, yes. And what happens is all these little components that they add to the finishing machine, depending on whether it's the carriage is traveling back and forth, whether it's an air-conditioned cab, etc. all add weight to the finishing machine. So with that going on, once we get that finishing machine, we actually will get the calculation sheet. This is from that job information sheet that you developed at the earlier part of this presentation. This is the sheet that actually comes from it. This one here defines what the layout of the overhang bracket is, as far as the positioning of the 45-degree receptacle, the size of the vertical leg, whether it has to be anywhere from 30 to 50 with a regular bracket or deep bracket or whatever. And on the bottom line, it will actually tell you what the capacities are, or what loads are put on the 45-degree hanger, the coil rod that attaches to that hanger and that attaches to the bracket, and what the load capacities of are put on the diagonal of the bracket. And with that, we have that capability of providing a drawing if so need be. Now, both of those two items are billable, just so you all know that there is a charge for those two. And it is a very moderate charge here. If you talk to a lot of contractors using it, it is a very reasonable cost associated with it. And most of the time you can take that information and turn it direct over to the DOT, and they will accept that as a forming package for the bridge deck. So let's talk resources. Well, I talked about our engineering, we talked about our customer service, we talked about our technical service. Our website has all of this information, and it has all the contact information, where to go, who to talk to, from what region you're in, to talk to what your salesman's name is, who it is, who his boss is. You're going to get technical service numbers, 800 numbers for customer service, 800 for customer service for tech service and forming, tech service in chemical, and tech service and accessory. You will also find handbooks and tech data sheets also available on site. Other resources that we've got to help with your needs, obviously we can do a lunch and learn for any of your customers, whether it even be on the job site. We can come out to the job site and do a lunch and learn with the foremen, superintendents, etc., for 30 minutes lunch and learn, so that everybody is up to date on how products have to be worked. We can do a lunch and learn in your office for you. Feel free to contact us at any time for that. Any of the training Tuesdays that you see here, if you like what you see here today, build your knowledge every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We actually have a new topic every Tuesday. And just so you know, we record these, and these are all available on our website, DaytonSuperior.com, under the Training Tuesday. Training, when it gets to the search bar, type in Training Tuesday, it will take you right to that topic. If you don't want to go through Dayton Superior, go right to YouTube and type in Dayton Superior, and all of the presentations will come up. Training Tuesdays will come up. So any other resources that we've got available, obviously topics that we've got, handbooks and everything else available for tech data sheets, handbooks, application guides, bridge splicing, tilt-up precasts, any of the forming packages. We also do any of them on shoring, a full chemical line, accessories, and AIA trainings are also available for any of you architects and engineers out there. We have about 10 certified classes for AIA trainings that can be reached. For any of that information, feel free to get a hold of us at training@DaytonSuperior.com, or scan that QR code down here at the bottom of the screen. It'll take you right to our site.
Awesome, Chuck. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them into the chat functionality in Zoom, and we'll get those answered for you. Wanted to remind you, Chuck just mentioned, we have all these recorded and they're out on the DaytonSuperior.com website. Like he said, just search Training Tuesday on that search functionality, and a page will pop up that has all of them. If you want precast, it's under the precast area. Tilt up is under the tilt up. You get the idea here.
And we have a question in here. Are there any on-site installation videos for the C49 accessories? We do have some PowerPoints that are available for how to hang an overhang bracket.
So maybe a lunch and learn with those, or we can
a lunch and learn
call
with
or
those.
something.
And usually I prefer to go out and do it on site or with the customer, because depending on conditions within the site, they change on how you want to be able to put the product in line. But yes, we can accommodate that. That's not a problem.
Okay. So we don't have any videos. I did say I'll try to look at that, but sometimes we just can't get out there. But one of the things we do pride ourselves is that we have the support systems, whether it be training or the sales team or whatnot, to get out there and show you how to do things.
Exactly. Yeah. And we have salesmen across the country. We've got one of the largest sales forces in the business that can come out and help you out with that. We have, like I said, the technical service behind it. And behind every one of us here working diligently is you've got probably 4 other people in the behind every one of us working hard to help you make your job easy and profitable.
That's awesome. So we're like 1 or 2 minutes over. I don't see any other questions, but as always, if you do, please contact us. It goes to Chuck and myself at training@DaytonSuperior.com. That's training@DaytonSuperior.com. And with that, see you next week. Thank you, Chuck, and everybody have a happy Tuesday. Till next time.
Thank you.